I've been employed for 24 years here. I haven't had a raise in 10 years. And now they're coming after our pension, which is one of the major reasons we work these crazy shifts.
From the company standpoint, there wasn't much change. They're out there with their hand out again, telling us why they're having a lot of problems, why they need more sacrifices, how they have to be competitive.
It's about the people up here getting their pockets padded and the ones down here giving up as much as they can. Let's get as much out of them as we can with as little pay as possible. Trying to take our pensions, cut our pensions in half after we've paid into them for 25 years.
You know, there was that apathy that existed that the union's not going to be able to do anything.
Through SARS, 911, bankruptcy, we gave and gave and gave. We gutted our collective agreement, and this time we had the opportunity to actually sit across the table from them and do a real round of bargaining, and we prepared for that.
We as a union were deeply concerned that if we did not start mobilizing, not start coming together, there was going to be serious issues because the company had a clear agenda to force our union down the road of even more concessions.
You know, coming out of the last bargaining, the membership was frustrated, and rightfully so. And they were frustrated with the company, and they were frustrated with the union.
In 2009, Air Canada's the customer sales agent's contract was up, and the bargaining committee came forward. We followed the normal procedure. We had bargaining surveys, bargaining proposals. There were membership proposal meetings. So the assumption was that we covered all the bases.
That agreement was not ratified by our membership. In fact, it created a significant amount of additional frustration on their behalf.
They were very angry because they felt that their needs and concerns were not heard.
And the main reason why that happened was a complete lack of communication.
It was a mob scene. And we left this meeting. There were hundreds of people there. We left it and went back to the bunker, to Tranmere office, and we were shell-shocked. And I remember one of the executive assistants said, "This is great." I thought, "What are you nuts?" And he said, "What an opportunity. What an opportunity going forward. You know, we can see what we can do better." And so that was a launching pad, I think, for the next round of negotiations in 2011.
You have to build confidence, you have to build support, you have to build a recognition that we are in a real war. Because let's not kid anybody. Raise your hand here today, those who have never experienced a strike in their life. Raise your hand. So that's the makeup of our membership.
Communication was a key piece. We started meeting very early.
Déjà en juin 2010, on a commencé à parler à nos membres, s'assurer que nos membres étaient conscients de ce qu'allait être la bataille ou l'enjeu de cette négociation-là.
The sheer size of Canada was our challenge. So trying to get all members in all the time zones on board and having that message of unity synced up so that everyone's on board at the same time was always going to be a challenge. And we needed to make sure that everyone was included at all times.
Right off the bat, we made a conference call from coast to coast. We ensured every district chair from every base phoned in. Are we all together? Are we going to move forward?
We had a leadership meeting in September 2010, long before bargaining started, to make sure that we had our leadership on board.
We needed to really educate the membership on the process. What does it mean? How does it all work?
We started a newsletter early on, which we intensified the message as it progressed to when we actually started negotiations.
And our website was updated every week, and our membership subscribes to those updates.
Social media played a key role in that rollout of our communication strategy.
every Friday when this bulletin would come out, we would send an email to those of our members that had signed up just for local information.
At times, picking up the telephone, setting up a conference call, and having everyone on board to be able to hear the message that was happening on a specific day. Between social media and sending messages out via email, we knew that we were reaching thousands of members. We were also reaching media. We were reaching just concerned individuals who were flying with Air Canada via these tools.
We had to have a message that would empower our membership and not alienate the customers. We'd really pushed that what we were after all of these years of getting nothing, was a fair deal. We had stickers, and they kind of mysteriously appeared all over the place. We came up with a bracelet. That became an instrument to start talking, having dialogue with the passengers. Oh, what's the bracelet? It was really important to stay focused on the message, which was the membership are united. We want a fair deal, and we're not going to take it. That became the song they were singing. We're not going to take it. They were singing that constantly.
Every region was going to have an event and a rally that was custom made to that region so that the members could buy in within their own region and have some control over the actions that were planned. Montreal traditionally has a very strong membership and a very strong culture of mobilization, so Quebec was chosen first to test the waters. We did bring in people from the other regions to experience the Quebec rally, and then that way they would build the experience on how to deal with the Airport Authority and Air Canada management for the following ones that were coming to place. It was time to ramp it up.
The membership was getting behind us more and more. They had the confidence. It's something that they maybe didn't have before. They marched through the airports even though they weren't supposed to. They were yelling at the top of their lungs, and in many ways they were yelling at their bosses.
I've contributed to the pension plan from the day that I started working here, and they are not going to make any changes to my pension.
From the word on the street and coming over, everybody we're talking to, we've got everybody in our court. We got Canada Customs in our pocket. But we're doing this for the whole country. We're not doing it just for us. And we're doing it for our other 4 unions. What do you mean? We're the pensions, man.
Enough is enough. And the best thing about this is the solidarity, because they had us divided, and I really have never seen this group so united. It's a great thing.
We walked through here, we walked past some of our managers. I hope they're not going to be watching this. Walking past them, they were shocked that the amount of people that came in on days off, we put our uniform on and came in here so people would know that it was Air Canada that was doing this to us. We marched through this airport, up and down arrivals and outside, and there were people everywhere. It was really, the support was amazing.
We planned a National Day of Solidarity where the members who worked in the non-airport locations and the smaller bases could participate. And at precisely 11 a.m. Toronto time across the country, we had approximately 2,000 Air Canada and Aeroplan members take a job action in their workplace together for 1 minute. Every worker in their workstations across the country stood up. We timed it to match when the company was engaging in their strike-breaking conference call. And the call got totally derailed because they just kept talking about what workplaces were engaging in actions.
On savait qu'on était appuyé par nos membres et à partir de là, on a été capable d'obtenir un mandat de grève à plus de 98%. Les membres étaient tout à fait au fait, savaient très bien quels étaient les enjeux.
Bargaining really works up to 12 midnight. And I can remember Air Canada management folks saying, are you actually going to strike my airlines? And we said, absolutely, if we're forced to go on a strike to defend the interest of pensioners, including future generations of pensioners, we're prepared to do it. They seemed a little bit shocked. They seemed to be a little bit caught off guard. I don't think they understood the determination of our union. And then, quite frankly, we struck them.
At midnight, or 11:59, 9 o'clock in Vancouver, midnight in Toronto, we had people in place to walk into airports to assist the member to walk out because they were nervous. They were so used to discipline and negativity that they were afraid they were going to be disciplined. We had to prove to them they had the right to do this. And they walked, and when they came out and we led them outside, you could see the difference in them immediately. Their shoulders went back, they walked out, they found the power in solidarity and unity that they never knew we had.
I've never been through a strike in my career. We painted signs at the union office. When we came here and we stood there and held our signs and had Ken Luenza and Jamie Ross speaking to us from telling us we're all here, we're supporting you, and other unions were here to support us. I've never seen those kinds of rallies. When they've asked us for help to go to other rallies, I never realized how important it was and the support to get from other collective bargaining units.
I would ask the Air Canada customers to recognize and understand it's about their future too, because when you sit on that plane, if you go down in pensions in this particular area, then there's nobody with a pension that'll have a security moving forward.
La plus grande surprise pour nous, je pense, c'était l'intervention du gouvernement Harper. C'est 16 heures après qu'on ait déclenché la grève, le gouvernement tout de suite s'en est pris à nous, attribuant ou disant que si jamais Air Canada poursuivait ou on poursuivait cette grève-là, que ça allait atténuer ou mettre en péril l'économie du Canada.
There isn't an economist anywhere in the country that said the strike was, potentially damaging to the Canadian economy, but nevertheless the government stepped in, and I just think it was ideologically driven.
Whoever was not on duty that day for strike, we called them at home. We had 2 hours notice. We called them at home. They put their uniforms on and they showed up at Lisa Rait's office.
Just the excitement of the membership right now, not just in St. John, but in my whole region. They're ready to go. They're ready for the fight.
Je regarde mes collègues de travail aujourd'hui qui sont souriants, qui sont un peu plus heureux. Oui, il y a encore des problèmes, mais écoutez, on va continuer à travailler là-dessus, mais je pense que majoritairement, les gens sont satisfaits, puis je pense que ça, c'est une grande satisfaction.
That strike, the strike vote and leading up to it is the best time of my career here. Just everybody pushing and banding together. It was so empowering. It was incredible.
It's really about getting out of the offices and getting away from behind the computer and getting out there and talking to people. Because with all the social media, with all the Twitter, Facebook, with all of it, it's still face-to-face dialogue is the most important thing of all.
I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt that it was an absolute pleasure for us to leave the bargaining table the day of the strike, when we had no idea when it was going to end, no idea when it was going to resolve, no idea what the outcome was going to be, other than the fact that we were a little nervous about the legislative requirement, when we had the opportunity to go to 3 picket lines in Toronto. People said to me, Ken, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for bringing the bargaining committee. Thank you for inspiring us. Thank us for feeling like we can win. I had so much of that, but it wasn't about that at all. It was about us coming back to the bargaining table with goosebumps on our arm.
10 years of just depression and negativity and working for a company that doesn't have any money. They went out and they walked on those picket lines. They had the best time of their lives. I get more emails to say, in my entire life, I'll never forget those 3 days on that picket line. They will never forget it. They realized the power of a union. They realized the power of themselves. And they realized that at the end of the day, if we had solidarity and we stick together and we fight, it does make a difference.